What's going on, champs and champets? It's FireMonkey here, and earlier today the Fortnite servers basically went down for like 3 to 4 hours. It was an interesting situation where a lot of people were freaking out thinking maybe Epic Games was getting DDoSed or something else, but the real issue and the real reason why the servers went down may not be as interesting as a whole entire DDoS attack might sound. So in today's YouTube video, I'll be telling you guys why all the servers went down earlier today, not just for Fortnite, but a lot of stuff like Snapchat, Life 360, a lot of the apps that you use in your day-to-day life, and what the known cause apparently appears to be based on the information people were able to find out online regarding this downtime. So firstly, what caused Fortnite to go down? Well, it's the fact that Fortnite servers use AWS, which is Amazon Web Services, which is used by a lot of big companies out there in order to actually get, free servers, or I guess not free, but decent servers for all of the things that they might be running, whether that's a game or an app or whatever else. It just seems better to pay Amazon a little bit of money and then have them kind of host and run your server instead of having to deal with having, the extra cost of maybe a whole entire server room built for your whole entire company, organization, whatever else inside of the organization. Because while it does mean you'll be able to have your own server room in some ways, you'll be able to have those benefits, it does also restrict you in this weird way to not being able to, have as much of that security that using Amazon Web Services would give you. But because of this, Fortnite uses Amazon Web Services, AWS, for the actual game itself, and whenever AWS goes down, the entirety of Fortnite's going to go down as well, including the Epic Games Store. So that is, first off, what actually ended up happening. AWS had an issue where it actually went down, and that caused a lot of big platforms to actually go down. It wasn't like a DDoS attack that was actually, targeting multiple different platforms. It was simply an issue with AWS itself causing this massive outage. Now, there has been a lot of rumors going around for why this actual downtime happened. Some people wondering if it was related to a DDoS attack. Some people wondering if it was malicious. All these different theories for why the servers could have gone down for so many different platforms. And from my understanding, it wasn't a DDoS attack or anything like that. From the little bit of research I did this morning, it appears that there was an issue with an internal subsystem that was responsible for monitoring the network load balances. So basically, let's say you have like 20 servers on a network or something like that. There's a system that is supposed to monitor if all of the load is proper. So like, let's say, actually, I guess the best way of saying this in a way that would probably make sense, especially since, I'm kind of like half awake or whatever, is there's a system that is supposed to make sure that no one server gets overloaded and that the actual load is shared between all of the server infrastructures that they actually have to prevent this type of thing from occurring. And instead, that check kind of messed up or errored out, and it caused the load balance to be all out of whack. And when one server gets overloaded, then it can cause all the other servers to slowly get more overloaded as well. And this apparently happened on the US East region. So if you're someone who were playing on like a different region or whatever else, it appears like you might have been fine. You might have been able to actually enjoy Fortnite still, like if you're on Oceanic or something normally. But if your main server was focused on US East, then you had a higher likelihood of just not being able to play the game for a little bit of time this morning and just not being able to use some of the apps people use in their day-to-day life, like Life 360. Now, I know according to NBC News, they stated that the official problem actually stemmed from an error with Amazon's DynamoDB database service, a system that actually manages, database tables and indexes. So it could be, something regarding load balancing, or it could be something with the actual internal databases going out of whack on the US East servers. But regardless of the issue, it doesn't appear like it was a intentional malicious, like, DDoS attack or anything like that. Instead, just a little bit more of like an issue with one of the servers, one of the actual infrastructure pieces that they have built up at Amazon to, have this entire ecosystem even existing in the first place. But yeah, if you were someone who was trying to log on to Fortnite or a lot of different platforms earlier today and you were having tons of errors, there were downtime, all this type of stuff, regardless of if it was just on Fortnite or maybe like PlayStation Network or whatever else, it appears that the reason why was because of the AWS downtime, and regardless of it being a DDoS, a database issue, or whatever else, the issues have now been fixed and you're able to play Fortnite currently as it is. I thought I'd just share a little bit more information about the situation and me dying over and over to the same exact spike trap over and over and over again. But I thought I'd just share a little bit of information about all of this because, you know, it is interesting to see how these little outages with one company can cause not just Fortnite, but like 100 different companies and websites and applications to just kind of go dark off the grid, right? And it makes me wonder what would happen if we did have like a really bad like cyber attack or something one day that was DDoSing AWS, it was DDoSing whatever other servers it could find, and probably DDoSing my brain because of this right here. Until next time, however, I'll catch you champs and champets a little bit later with another upload. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't like it, and peace out.